On today's IRS Tax Refund update, as the IRS wraps up the first official week of the tax season, we are going to take a look at the latest, including new developments for those encountering refund delays due to the need to complete ID verification. We also have reports from viewers who are now showing their tax returns have been approved and are now seeing a direct deposit refund date, so we will check in on that, as well as new reports coming in from taxpayers seeing the first updates to their tax transcripts this season, and from there, further developments on the child tax credit increase proposal currently in Congress. Now, the next batch of direct deposit tax refunds is scheduled to be released and transmitted by the IRS on February 5th, as confirmed by the refund status results seen here. Now, while most of those direct deposit refunds will reach bank accounts on the 5th, if not before, do allow up until February 10th to receive that deposit in your account before contacting the IRS to initiate a payment trace if you have not received that refund. So far, we are continuing to see simple tax returns from those early filers being processed first, and as a reminder, no refunds from tax returns claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit or Advanced Child Tax Credit are being released at this time due to the PATH Act. The only way taxpayers claiming those credits could receive those refunds before mid-February is if they opted to receive a tax refund advance from their tax preparer. Most refunds are expected to be released within 21 days of filing, not counting early filers claiming EITC or ACTC. Also, keep in mind if your tax return is being held due to ID verification. You may be waiting beyond that 21-day mark if you need to receive a verification letter from the IRS. Meanwhile, for those encountering delays due to the need to complete ID verification, we have received reports from several of our viewers who are now encountering the option to verify screen as seen here. Now again, to begin the process, you will need to receive that ID verification letter from the IRS, such as the 5071C notice, which will contain a 14-digit control number that you will need to enter as seen here to begin the process, and as a reminder to also have a valid photo ID and a copy of your tax year 2023 federal return available to fully complete the process. If you are selected for ID verification, please allow 2 weeks to receive that notice from the IRS in the mail after filing your tax return electronically. Now, if you have not received that letter after 2 weeks, you will now have an option to request an additional notice to be sent by mail, as seen here, instead of having to call the IRS to request one. As we reported in previous years, a significant number of those needing to complete ID verification never in fact received the notice in the mail, even though the IRS stated they sent one out, which led to sometimes months of additional delays, as the impacted taxpayer was even aware this was the cause of their delay. It is also recommended that you check your tax transcripts and locate the 971 code with a recent date, which will represent the notice being sent out. Our recommendation is to wait 2 weeks from the listed date on the transcript before requesting a new notice. Again, there is no way to complete the ID verification process without the notice, as the IRS will not provide that control number to you over the phone. Moving on to the topic of PATH Act holds and tax transcripts, as we are getting some of the first reports from viewers claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit, indicating that they are now seeing some updates on their tax transcripts as seen here. This viewer who filed their tax return on January 31st, which is confirmed by that 8-digit transcript cycle code ending in 04, as seen in the middle of the tax transcript, is in fact claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is confirmed by the 768 transcript code seen towards the bottom of the transcript. The transcript also shows a February 19th processing date, which is the date the IRS computer system is assigning this tax return for completion. Now, please keep in mind that the processing date is automatically set by the computer and can possibly change many times over the course of processing, so it is not a definite date. However, based on IRS timeframes, the February 19th date is likely going to be the first date in which tax refunds on hold due to the PATH Act will be cleared to be released to taxpayers. It is also important to note that with February 19th being President's Day and a federal holiday, means there will be no bank processing that day. So as a result, we could start to see direct deposit refunds for those claiming either the Earned Income Tax Credit or Child Tax Credit start reaching bank accounts on Wednesday, February 21st. This scenario would also fit with the IRS timeframe that early filers of those credits should receive those refunds by February 27th, as long as there are no additional problems with the tax return. Now, an update for those who are waiting on new developments about the proposed child tax credit increase that would take effect for taxes filed this year, as the IRS is now advising taxpayers who may be impacted by these changes to proceed with filing their tax returns. This recommendation comes after the House of Representatives approved the child tax credit increase. However, this child tax credit proposal still needs to be approved by the Senate before it can take effect. This proposal would impact tax years 2023, 2024, and 2025. However, not all taxpayers claiming the child tax credit would see an increase, as it would be based on eligibility requirements based on final passage. The biggest question so far this year has been what will happen to those eligible for the increase but have already filed their taxes. And while the details are still being discussed, it is widely believed the IRS will automatically make any adjustments and send out an additional refund check for those eligible who are owed a difference after receiving their first refund check. The IRS has stated they need 6 weeks to update their systems if this child tax credit proposal does pass. We will make sure to continue monitoring further developments and when a scheduled Senate vote takes place on this. But again, even if this passes relatively soon, it will be at least mid-March before any adjusted CTC refunds would be issued. Once again, a reminder to log in to your IRS online account and opt to receive email notifications as well as both online and paper notice deliveries. The process is very simple, as you will simply log in to your IRS account seen here and select Go Paperless for certain IRS notices under the Notifications section of the homepage. First, make sure your email address is correct, then click on the New Notices and Letters box under Email Notifications and select Save. From there, select both online and paper next to Notice Delivery under Paperless Settings, and you are done. This will help receive some notifications quicker in the event there is an issue discovered with your tax return that requires further attention. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.